Excellence is action. Oftentimes we find ourselves saying the words, but what we do defines excellence.
For me, it's finding the gifts and the graces that God has given us. I believe when we use the gifts and talents and graces that God gives, life becomes easy.
Excellence to me is when you set out to whatever your field is, you have a goal, do the best you can at it, and excellent is when you're at the top of whatever it is that you're trying to achieve.
Excellence is getting knocked down and getting back up again. Excellence is resilience. I don't believe there's any person who we deem to be excellent in a field or excellent in their life who hasn't had setbacks, who hasn't had failures, who doesn't have flaws.
Even in doing your best with excellence, you can come up short. But it's okay. As long as you go back, and if you did somebody wrong, go back and say, I apologize, hey, we're gonna make it better. That's still excellence. That's showing that you're willing to admit your faults too along the way.
Oftentimes we say we want to be treated with respect. We want to be treated with love. Well, the question is, how are you treating others?
It's a commitment to what you put your mind and body to do. I think the commitment that we make allow us to be excellent in certain areas.
I view myself as excellent based on the shoulders that I stand on and based upon the amount of people who have helped me, who believed in me. So my success, if that's the term, is due to so many people who have invested their time, their energy, their prayers in me, and also their money in me. So to that degree, my excellence is not in isolation. My excellence is just based on a collective effort.
I don't walk around thinking I'm excellent. I think I walk around knowing Jason's got to work on himself every day.
I think I achieved a lot, but I'm still not going to say I was excellent. I think there was more I could have done.
In my immediate family, I'm the first one to go to college. My grandmother, she went as far as 5th grade. My mother graduated, and my father graduated from high school. They did not go to college. So I was the first of the family to go to college.
I just wake up every day and try to do best I can, because some days I don't feel like waking up. I feel like just laying back, rolling back over. But when I get up, I just try to live a life that's pleasing in the sight of God.
I got a long way to go still. There's still so much to learn and see and do. But my goal is every day I strive to be excellent. I strive to make sure that I do the right thing.
We're all different, but in some ways alike. And the excellence that runs through me, I like to try to provide that hope and give to someone else.
When I got on that level of the international, they were much older than me, so I learned a whole lot from them. I've just learned how to be an athlete. I'm going to say an athlete that people are going to look up to, what your do's and your don'ts. They taught me all of that. Ralph Boston, Edith McGuire, they taught me all of these things. To this day, I still remember everything they taught me.
I believe from where I come from, God is real pleased with me, but I believe God at the same time would say, we still have work to do.
Being a black man, you're held to a different standard. You're judged by things that maybe others aren't judged by. Sometimes you don't have the privilege that others have because of the things that we've been through, because of some of the stipulations about being an African American.
Some of the things that probably other folks were doing, we as a race couldn't do, weren't accepted to do those things. And even in my church, we sat in the last seats in the back row 6 seats up toward the front. If church became full, whoever was in that 6th pew, we were asked to move and stand in the back so that other folks could sit there.
I'm one that stands for humanity. I think change is good now when we not only could go to Monex Park, but also could go to Baker Park. I think we don't have to sit in the peanut gallery, but we could go to the altar. I think change is great in those types of ways. We could drink from the fountain of Baker Park now, walk places we never walked.
I learned that race does not have to be a hindrance to you. It does not have to be a hindrance to you. And I think sometimes we and our children think that it is. It's not.
In the context of our history, and our history doesn't expand, doesn't start with slavery. Our history goes back to the unique creation of civilization, and in that there's a lineage and ancestral heritage of excellence.
The history of black people is very important, and I think for people to know, if they don't know, if you want to learn, you can learn it, but there's a lot of black history I still don't know, and I'm still learning. You know, as a black person, it's fascinating because we're not taught these things.
I didn't have the traditional, I didn't go to college. That wasn't my background. I came right out of high school, went to jail. And I was trying to figure out life. I was like, man, what am I gonna do with my life? And I got on this side, the wrong side, got in trouble. But I knew right from wrong.
I've made some poor choices and poor decisions in my life. So I'm a convict and I'm a felon. And that adds to being a black man. That adds to the disbelief. That adds to the generational curses. And that adds to some of the things that have happened in our communities of color that have made people not believe in our success and excellence.
I think it's important for black children to understand that black people aren't just in sports. The excellence is not always in sports. You don't have to be a basketball player. You don't have to be a track star, There's other things that you can excel in that's out there for you.
Every once in a while, I feel good to see somebody who looks like you that's had success or has had excellence. And I always say this, outside of sports. And I don't think we get to see that enough. I don't think we get to see the day-to-day folks that grind or where somebody's background was to get them to here. Hopefully this whole thing is about showing people that you too are probably carrying excellence. We just have the spotlight on us today.
I'm more hopeful today than ever because I have seen some things change for the best. I think that God is still looking for people such as me and you to stand in the gap for everyone else. I'm so hopeful because I believe more and more people every day are saying, not my will, but thy will be done.